Well, we've been talking about bread all week. Today, I'm going to talk about a little something you can put on bread. On the left, you got the spicy brown. It says, kick it up a notch with spicy brown. Got the old squeeze bottle of the yellow mustard. And then let me kind of zoom in. The old classic French's classic yellow mustard. The late Charles Lee Williamson was one of my supervisors at my doctoral work at the seminary in Fort Worth. And we met regularly as I was working on that doctoral work and doctoral paper and putting everything together. And I asked him one day, I said, Charles Lee, I said, I want to be a pastor and I'm thinking about trying to start a church. And I said, you got like one bit of advice for me as a young preacher? What would you tell me? And he said this to me. He said, buy your mustard by the barrel. And I said, excuse me? He said, Toby, I've been doing this a long, long time. And there's going to be some stuff that comes along that doesn't make any sense. There'll be some stuff that comes along that'll be hurtful. You're going to run into, while there's a whole lot of good people and nice people, you're going to run into some mean folks, and they'll do some mean stuff and say some mean stuff. And he said, you know what I've discovered? He said, if you buy your mustard by the barrel, no matter what comes along and what you might have to swallow, he said, you can always put enough mustard on it to make it taste like mustard. And really what he was saying, we always, in matters of principle, we stand like a rock. I'm not talking about compromising, but some of the stuff, it's just not worth the trouble. It's not worth getting wrapped around the axle. It's not worth getting all ginned up. It's always a good thing to keep our cools, to be patient. That word patient, again and again in the Bible, that word patient is macrothumia, long-spirited, long-suffering. We don't lose our cool. And so as we've been thinking about bread this week, my mind was drawn back to Charles Lee Williamson and his advice to me as a young minister. Buy your mustard by the barrel. You can always put enough mustard on it to make it taste like mustard. Sometimes it's some really good advice. Hope you've had a wonderful day. God bless you. Have a good evening.